Let's go in a very easy way. Don't need to complicate the things. First, what is an element? Anyone? We'll go simple, in a very simple language we'll go. What is an element? It is talking about in which phase the subject is actually, right? The subject is always moving in the trial from one element to another element. That is one phase to the another phase. If I want to track the subject's transition from one phase to another phase, this is one of the domain which is very, 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 very useful. So element is nothing but phase, or I can say that in which phase the subject is actually currently present. Is that correct? Can I understand? Can I talk in that way? In a very simple way. Now your basic building block and everything. This is the basic building block, but it actually talks about where the subject is currently in and how long he is in that particular one. That is, it is the phase of the subject is currently in, along with when he entered into this and when he exit from this particular one. A phase with the start and end dates. Is that correct? We'll go simple. We don't need to be very specific about the bookish examples or bookish answers. We try to understand that in a very, very simple way. All of you are with me now. Can I say that all of you are clear with what exactly your element is? Remember, element is always related to the subject. It is always from the subject view. Okay. Now, let me show you a very simple example, because yesterday we have discussed that. Maybe I can take a different example today, not the same one, and I'll explain this particular one. Okay, same, almost the same example, but anyways, we discussed that yesterday, right? So we'll go in a quite, or I can say that some difference. Okay. Can I say this is going to be a study design? What kind of study design it is? Can someone please tell me? If I want to define the study, what you can define, what kind of study it is?
Crossover.
Wonderful. Crossover. Why? The subject got, first he got drug A, then drug B. Our subject, not only the subject, but I can see that the study has two different drugs, and it can also see there are two different treatment approaches. In first epoch, I have drug A. In the second epoch, I have drug B. That is, everyone who is going to be part of this particular trial arm, the subject is going to experience two different drugs. So obviously it is going to be crossover. Wonderful. What else? Anything else you can say by looking at this? Anything else you can see? There is one more you can identify actually. Another small subtle difference is there. You can also identify that.
Epoch 1 and 2 is different.
True that epoch 1 and 2 is different, but you can also see you are able to see the drug names, correct?
Yes.
When you
Open,
can see exactly.
open label.
Exactly. Can I say that is a open label crossover study design, everyone? Serious. It's a open label, right? And it is a crossover study design. Why open label? I know what the drug is. That is, subject as well as investigators are well aware of what exactly the study drug is. Number two, each subject, or I can say that there are two trial arms, correct? Can I say that there are two trial arms are available here, all of you? Do you accept that? What are the two trial arms? This is one. This is two. Am I correct? Arm is nothing but the series of your treatments. Am I correct? I can say anyone who completed the screening after the randomization, they will either enter into drug A, drug B trial arm, or they will enter into drug B, drug A trial arm. Am I correct? All of you are clear with this? Two trial arms after the randomization, that is all the persons who cleared the screening will enter into the randomization. The randomization suggests two different paths. One is going to be AB, another one is BA. After successful completion of your treatment, you will enter into the follow-up and you will be, I can say that, end of the study. Everyone who completed the follow-up, I can say that they will be end of the study. Is that correct, guys? All of you are in line with me? Can I have a quick confirmation? Yes or no? The same thing for your reference, I have also written here. See, all the eligible subjects. What do you mean by eligible subjects? Except screen failures. If anyone screen failed, they are not eligible. All the eligible subjects are randomized and they will enter into one of the two treatment sequences, AB or BA. Now, this is Epoch. Now, one of the thing that you might be not clear with, that's what my assumption is, but I'll try to ask this. Can someone tell me the difference between epoch and element now? By looking at this example, can you tell me?
There are two types of epochs in this type of treatment. Like drug A after drug A and drug B, and drug B and drug A.
But
So
drug B, drug B are the elements, right? Not the epochs. Epoch is treatment 1, treatment 2, screening epoch, follow-up epoch. There are 4 epochs there.
I believe element is a single entity and epoch is a collection of all the elements.
Wonderful. Technically, yes, sounds correct. Can someone simplify? Maybe I'm not functionally sound like you. So I'm a layman. I want to understand in the layman terms. Can someone help me with that?
So, grouping the similar elements together, like screening, that is one epoch, and in treatment phase 1 is one epoch and phase 2 is another epoch, then follow-up is like another epoch.
But if you see the treatment is having drug A and drug B. The treatment 2 epoch also have the drug A and drug B only. When I say similar elements, if you want to group it, you can group all these 4 into one epoch only. Am I correct? Make sense or not? Then, okay. We will again discuss this with an example. Always examples help us. Okay, guys. For an example, let's say that I want to look at a flu vaccine. Actually, we are actually going ahead with a flu vaccine testing I want to do. I want to test this particular vaccine. I want to test it. So when I want to test it, will you do it in a single shot or multiple shots? Always we'll go with the multiple shots, right? We don't know like what is going to be how long the drug is going to be in my body, how long the drug is going to take the complete discharge from the body. We are not sure, correct? Those are the various things that we are going to test in our things, correct? That is in our clinical study. Let's say that we decided that, hey, this flu vaccine, I want to give it to the subject for 5 weeks continuously. Let's say I'll start on day 0, that is today. And then after a week, for every 1 week, I want to give this particular dosage. Week 1. Again, in the week 2, I'll give the same dose. Again, in the week 3, I'll give the same dose. Again, in the week 4, I'll give the same dosage. Again, in the week 5, I'm going to give the same dosage. Totally, it is going to be a 6 weeks program. In the 6 weeks, 6 times I have given the same drug to the particular subject. Is that clear? Everyone? Some vaccine it is. Let's say it is going to be 5 ml. I want to give 5 ml. Throughout my study, I'm giving the same 5 ml of this particular drug to this particular subject for the 5 weeks. So first, I completed the screening. There is no placebo or nothing. There is only one. So I entered into this. And then this whole thing is going to be my treatment. And then I'll give a gap. And after this particular one, I ask the subject to come for the follow-up after 2 weeks. What is that? After 2 weeks, I ask the subject to come for the follow-up. follow-up happen after 14 days, P14D. Can I have a quick confirmation? All of you are clear with what I have talked here? A flu vaccine I want to test. First, I went to the screening. The subject who have completed the screening entered into the treatment. This is my treatment period. The people who have completed whoever has completed the treatment, they appear for the follow-up after 14 days. Is it understandable to all of you? What is the boxes at the top in the light orange color? What you can call that as? Can I say, this is my screening epoch? Everyone accept this? This is my screening epoch. This is going to be my treatment epoch. My treatment is going to last for 7 weeks or 6 weeks. My total treatment is going to be for 6 weeks. Follow-up is going to happen for the after 14 days, the follow-up is going to happen. Now, is it specific to any subject? Or these epochs are related to your trial? What is your view? Are these epochs are at a subject level or at the entire study level? What is your view?
Study level.
Exactly, it is at the study level. Correct? It is the time frame. I can say that this is the time frame. My time frame for the screening is going to be from the time you inform you sign your informed consent. I'll say that within 1 week of the time you have to complete the screening. So what is my total screening epoch time here? My screening epoch is going to be from the time, I'll write it here. From the time you sign your informed consent, from that particular time to 1 week. I'm allowing you 1 week of the time. Within this 1 week, you need to complete your screening. Right? So there are 100 subjects, I can say. Every day I'm doing the screening for the 20 subjects. What is going to happen? Every day 20 people is going to be there. Now tell me, for every subject, the element start date and end date will be different, right? Now I'm looking at the subject. There is going to be a subject called 101. This guy is entered into the screening. This guy's screening start date is on day 1. That is on right after the ICF. Let's say ICF you signed on somewhere around 1st February. 1st February you have done this. Screening generally complete in the same day, most probably. Can I say this is going to be the one element, first element of the subject 101. All of you accept? All of you accept this? Yes. This is the element which is part of your epoch. Am I correct? My total epoch time frame here is going to be, if I say screening epoch here, my screening epoch is going to be for 1 week, which is nothing but, which is ideally going to start on 1st February. And it is going to be there for 1 week until 7th February. This is my epoch time frame. Is that correct? This is my epoch time frame. Okay. And within that, 101 is the guy who completed the screening on the 1st February. Let's say there is another subject 102. This guy also have a screening, but for this guy, the screening happened on the 5th February. Now you can see the dates are different. Am I correct? But still, during this particular time, on the 5th February, within my screening epoch, the screening happened for this particular subject. Is that making sense, guys, all of you? Can I have a quick confirmation? Screening is the overall time frame. Within that particular time frame, any elements can happen, any number of elements can happen. One of the element here is the screen test. The screen test that has taken for the subject. Elements are for the individual subjects. Epochs are for the entire treatment, entire study. Is that understandable to everyone? Makes sense? I still have examples, don't worry. But at the initial level, is this understandable? Questions, please. All right, no problem. Your silence I consider it as a okay, you understand this.
So, sir,
Hmm.
in the screenshot, what you're showing, like treatment epoch 1, treatment epoch 2. So that does mean like in epoch 1, they are giving a different dosage, and epoch 2, it's a different dosage?
If it is going to be a crossover study, that is different. I'm talking about a parallel study here. I given only one treatment. You can see that's the reason I have the same treatment, same dosage throughout my study. I'll come to this one as well. First, I'm going ahead
Okay.
with a simple one.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, makes sense, right? You can understand the difference, right? Here I have drug A and drug B, or I can also test the same drug with the different dosages also, right? The in-class subject, the in-class project that we are doing is, it's the same drug. One is going to be 50 ml, another one is 50 mg, another one is 100 mg. Remember, right? The in-class project that we are doing. Here, I'm giving the same drug, same dosage, same frequency throughout the study. It is a parallel study design that I'm explaining here. This is the crossover study design example. First, I'll complete this. Still, if you are not able to differentiate between the epoch and element, I will explain with the other one. That's the reason I said I still have examples. Is that okay? Now you can understand what is epoch and what is element at the screening level. Any questions on screening epoch and screening element? All right.
One question. In treatment epoch, for example, from day 0 to 5th.
1 second. Whoever it is, I think Savitri. Let's
Yes,
concentrate on screening. Let me come to epoch.
Okay, sir.
Treatment epoch, then you can
Okay,
ask me again.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So screening epoch, all of you are clear or not? Screening epoch and screening element. Is that okay? Wonderful. Let me go to the treatment. So treatment, let's say it is going to be a parallel study design, and I'm just going ahead with the treatment epoch here. So in the treatment epoch, let's say that it is going to start after 1 week of randomization. Let's say randomization kick-started right after the screening. Let's say 8th February it started. It just will let for 2 days. That is till 10th February. And we want to start with 17th Feb. 17th Feb, I want to start my treatment to the subject. From there, how many weeks? 6 weeks. 6 means 6 weeks in the sense approximately 1.5 months. Exactly correct. So 17th Feb, you can start, let's say 17th March. From there, it is going to be another 2 weeks. So 24th, 31st. Let's say that end of March. Let's say end of March, 31st March 2023. I want to complete my treatment. Now you can see. That is my treatment epoch, this entire time frame, whatever you can see here, this entire time frame is starting from 17th February and ending by 31st March. But where I am planning all this? There should be some place where I'm planning all this. So this is design, right? All of you. This is not actual. This is design. This is how I'm planning. Correct? Can I say this is design? What I'm designing here, 2 things I'm designing. Number 1, how the elements, when the element to start and end. This is one thing I'm defining here. Correct? The another thing that I'm defining here is nothing but what treatment, if it is going to be a same here in this particular case, it is going to be a same thing, arm. Same treatment. If it is going to be a crossover study design, I say that one group is going to get AB, the other group is going to get BA. So I'm also defining the arm. Am I correct, guys? Is this correct? Whatever I'm highlighting here, is this correct? In the designing phase, I'm designing 2 things. 1, epoch I'm defining, that is the time frames. Within the time frames, what needs to be done, I'm defining. Number 3, what treatment I should give, that is also I'm defining. Is that correct, guys? I need answers from everyone, irrespective of If you understand, I'm happy. If you don't understand, ask me the questions, but I need answers.
Yes, sir.
All right. Can I say this is nothing but trial elements? If I'm defining the element to start and element to end, which is nothing but the trial element domain, that is, in this domain, I'm going to define what is my element, what is the start rule, what is the end rule. If I go with the arm, when I want to say arm, the treatment arm, the planned treatment arms will be part of trial arm domains. So there are going to be two domains now. Design phase, there are two domains. What are them? One is going to be the trial element, which is going to define me what are going to be the various elements in my study that subject need to undergo. The same thing which also talks about what are going to be the various arms. Drug A, drug B is one arm, drug B, drug A is another arm. These are plannings, correct? Now, so if I want to define the actual, this is planned, guys. This is planned. If I want to define the actual elements where the subject is actually present, that is available only in the subject elements domain. Trial elements is going to have the planned. What is the element? What is the start rule? What is the end rule? What is the planned treatment arm? Right? So screening, drug A, drug B follow-up, that is planned. Any unexpected things can happen there. But all the planned things will be in the trial arm domain. Is that correct, guys? All of you accept that? Yes or no? Now, this is entire treatment epoch, which starts by 17th Feb and ends by 31st March. This is at a study level. Now, on the day 0, we have administered 5 ml dosage of the drug to the subject. One of the subject, 101, is the subject to which we have given. Can I say that is going to become a treatment element for the subject 101? Is that correct? For the 101, we have a screening. He successfully completed the screening. He entered into the treatment phase. In the treatment phase, the first phase of the treatment is going to be supposed to get 5 ml drug of your 5 ml of your vaccine. He got it. Maybe flu vaccine is not the thing. Flu drug we can take. Vaccine is once. Correct? He's supposed to take the first treatment. He got it. Can I say that it is going to be the treatment element for this particular subject 101? Is that correct or not? If the treatment is going to be a flu drug, let's say drug, whatever drug is the drug name, I can give it here. So he got the drug 5 ml, flu drug 5 ml, he got it. That is on day 0. This is the first element of 101 in the treatment epoch. Is that correct or not, everyone? Now you can see there is one element drug. Let's say it is going to be a flu drug 5 ml. The same thing is going to happen in the week 2, second element, third element, fourth element, fifth element, sixth element. There are 6 elements for this particular subject 101 in the treatment epoch. Is that correct? Look at this diagram now. There is a treatment epoch 1, there is a treatment epoch 2. It is study level. The guy who got randomized to the drug A and drug B, he got drug A element in the treatment epoch. That is, now I'm writing this here. There is 101. He cleared the screening, right? I'm just considering this case now. He got assigned to the first one. So what is going to happen for him? In the day 0, first time, he is going to get drug A. Correct? In the second treatment epoch, because, okay, maybe I don't want to confuse you. I just change this a little. I'm just going ahead with the second case. In the second case, what is going to happen? 101 is the guy. He completed the screening. After the screening, he entered into the treatment epoch. There are two treatment epochs ideally. What are them? This is one, treatment epoch 1. And there is another one that is nothing but treatment epoch 2. The treatment epoch 1 for this particular guy is going to be drug A. The treatment epoch 2 for this particular guy is going to be drug B. And again, I have the follow-up. Now tell me, what are the subject elements for this particular guy? Anyone? This is happened over there. This is planned. This is planned. This is my trial arm data set, trial arm, right? There are two things I have defined in my trial arm. For few subjects, it's supposed to be drug B followed by drug A. For the remaining subjects, it is going to be drug A followed by the drug B. There are two trial arms I have defined. Is that correct, guys? All of you understand the trial arm? The sequence of treatments. Can I have a confirmation? All of you understand trial arm based on this example I'm talking about. Screening, drug A, drug B follow-up. Screening, drug B, drug A follow-up. The same thing, I just put it in a table here. Epochs are clear now. Can I have a confirmation? We'll go one by one. Team, until and unless you answer it, I don't know whether you understand it or you're getting confused. I'm not sure. But if you answer it with something, if you need an explanation one more time, I can do that. But all I need is every one of you need to understand this particular process. So till that, I keep working on. So now I'm asking you, all of you, how do I define trial arm? All of you, is this clear? Nothing special I did. I just copied this particular one. Based on this, I designed this. Yes, someone is asking. This is my diagram. The same diagram I've replicated here. I'm calling this particular one as trial arm. Anyone, any questions? Right. Now, this is trial arm. The same thing when I come to the other one, which is nothing but your trial elements. What trial elements is going to tell you? What is your element code? What is your element? What is your trial element start rule? What is your trial element end rule? It only talk about these four things. Am I correct? What is the start rule? What is the end rule? Nothing else it is going to talk. Right? Element, trial element start rule, trial element end rule. So for an example, if it is going to be screening, what I'm going to talk, it is going to be screening. Name also the same. What is trial element start rule? I can say that date of informed consent form. Whenever the subject signed this, that is where it's supposed to start. Trial element end rule. Date of first dosage. Date of first drug the subject has taken, administered. Is this correct, guys? All of you? When he signed the informed consent, that is the start. When the first dosage has come, that is going to be the end of the screening. Correct? Then I can go with the treatment. What is the treatment thing? When the subject has taken the first drug. Correct? What is going to be the end? Sorry, here I should put it. It is going to be treatment. What you can call it as, it is going to be treatment 1. When I say treatment 1, date of first drug. The date of first drug is going to be the start. The date of second drug is going to be the end. Is that correct? I'm not doing anything different. Whatever is present here, I'm taking this as it is. I'll call this as a treatment 1. Similarly, I'm taking the treatment 2. TRT2, it is going to be treatment 2. The start of date of second drug administered for the first time anyways. That is going to be here. And what is going to be the end?
Date of follow-up first date.
Okay, follow-up. follow-up date. Finally, I have the follow-up. Here I can simply say that follow-up. Follow-up start date. When it is going to end? End of contact. When is the last time you have a contact with that particular guy? That is going to be the end of contact. Can you say these are nothing but your subject elements and the rules? Where I'm defining them? I'm actually defining these rules in my trial element data set. I have a trial arm, I have a trial element, but these two are planned only, right? That is the one thing that I want to stretch. That's the reason I keep on talking about it. These are only the designed ones. I can design the elements, I can design the treatment arms, but these are only planned, but these are not actual. Is that correct, team? Everyone? Can I have a quick confirmation? Is this understandable to you? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Now, whatever I have talked here, let me elaborate that. Now you can see here is what trial arm. An element is the basic building block that is used to describe the administration of planned interventions. Intervention is nothing but your drug, guys, when you're giving the drug. Planned drug details, when you're giving the planned drug, that is what your element is. Remember this one, all the planned elements are described in the TE. That is what I mentioned to you just now. Only the planned elements. Every planned element will have a start rule and end rule. Same thing that I just elaborated here. You can see screen, I call it as a drug A, drug B, followed by the follow-up. It's a study ID, not the subject. It's a study ID. And you can see the same thing I have mentioned. Okay, because here I know that in this particular case, each drug is lasted for 1 week of the time. I just used P70, and I know that the follow-up is going to be for the 2 weeks. I used P2W, but it is pretty much same as what you have seen here, right? This is your trial element. Whatever the table that I have mentioned here, the same table with the details, I just put it here. Similarly, I need to talk about the trial arm also, right? Now go to the trial arm. Now we can see. So there are different trial arms. See, now you can see in the trial arm, this is very, very crucial. In the first arm, how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 elements are there. Am I correct? These are 4 elements, guys, right? Screening is one element, drug A is another element, drug B is another element, follow-up is the another element. So I can say that each trial arm have 4 elements. All of you are with me? Do you accept that? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Those I'm going to talk now. As long as my treatment, there are only 2 treatment arms. What are them? Drug A, drug B, drug B, drug A. Only 2. So if it is going to be drug A, drug B, which is going to have 4 elements in that. Screening, drug A, drug B, follow-up. Epoch, when it comes to the epoch, I'm calling screen as a screening, drug A as a treatment 1, drug B as a treatment 2, drug B follow-up as a follow-up. You see, irrespective of whatever the arm it is, my epoch remains going to be the same. Why? Epoch applies at a study level, trial level, correct? You can see epochs are same. I have screening, treatment 1, treatment 2, follow-up. Whatever your trial arm is going to be, my treatment epoch 2, follow-up, screening, these 4 epochs will not change. Within the epoch, elements will change, but overall epochs will not change because epochs are at the trial level. Am I correct? That is what I mentioned before also. Correct? Now you can see. A trial arm table describes a sequence of elements within each arm. That is how they are moving through the elements. Now you can see the guy first enters into the screening. Then he take drug A, then drug B, finally enters into the follow-up. That is for the first one. How about the second one? Again screening. He take drug B now, Then he take drug A. Finally, he is going to appear for the follow-up. This is for the second one. So there are two paths the subject is going to follow. Sorry, there are two paths, there are two trial arms. Based on the randomization, the subject will fall under any one of the arm. Make sense? Is this clear? Why it is important? All of you? All right. Now again, I come back. Now you can see here I have written the TA branch I have written. So this guy, the first guy, or whoever got randomized to the sequence AB, this is going to be the path. Whoever got randomized to BA, this is going to be the path. Nothing but my arms also done. So now design is completed. What are the elements? Start rule, end rule, done. What are the treatment arms? Within each treatment arm, what are the elements and how they got randomized, the respective epochs gone. Done. Now, subject elements. This is very important and crucial. Whatever the information that we have defined in both trial A and trial arm and trial elements, along with the actual, based on that, I'm going to have SC, ST, DTC, SE, and DTC. These are actual data. These are not planned. Planning phase, you don't have subject data. The moment you have subject data, it is actual. It is actual. Now you can see how many subjects are here, guys. Can you see this? How many subjects are there? Can you have a look and tell me?
3.
Exactly. 3. But how many elements should be there as per your trial arm?
12.
4. So approximate 3 into 4, 12 should be there. But how many I have here? The total is going to be approximately 8. Now look at the reasons. Look at the first guy. Few things you need to understand here. According to the SDTM implementation guide, the current SE, and DTC should be the SC, ST, DTC for the next one. So I'm going to mark them. Whatever I have marked here, maybe I'll just go with the no color. Oh, sorry. Automatic. I'll just use this. Right? So it generally says that, oh, I missed this particular one. This is screening, right? The guy is different. Okay. Apologies. Let me take this guy. This guy has everything. These two, these two, these two. See this? The current element end date is going to be the start date of the next element. Current element end date is the start date of the next element. Current element end date is going to be the start date of the next element. SDTM always mentions that the end date of the current element should be the start date of the next element. That is, at any point of time, the subject can present only in one element. Make sense? What is the reason? So a subject cannot be present in two elements at a time. How do I define it? If I make sure that my current element end date is going to be the start date of the next element, right? Both next date, sorry about it. Just a second. All right. So now we can see clearly this subject is in the screening element here, drug A element here, drug B element here, follow-up element here. The same is going to be epochs. You can see screening epoch, treatment 1 and treatment 2 epochs, and finally follow-up epoch. Easy and straightforward, right? Now let's take the first guy. This guy is supposed to have 4 elements, but you can see this guy doesn't have drug A, drug B follow-up. What might be the case? Anyone? What might be the case? Why this guy doesn't have treatment and follow-up? Anyone?
He have left the study in between due to some
Screen
reason.
failure.
Exactly, the screen failure. Left the study is okay. I can totally accept that. That is also an acceptable case. In general, the subject doesn't have the remaining treatment or other details, meaning he or she is not able to clear the screening. Those can be considered as the unassigned subject, screen failures. Ideally, I'm supposed to have 4, but I have only 1 element, actual element. Planned is 4, actual is only 1. Make sense now? What is SC will do? SC will have only the actual elements data. That is the reason this we have mentioned here at the first place. A special purpose domain that contains the actual order of the elements followed by the subject along with the start date and end date. Clear? Come back. Look at the second guy. This guy has only 2. So you can see he got ran. The drug B is coming to the picture. What is the meaning? As per the trial arm, this guy is actually in the second trial arm, drug B, drug A. So he cleared the screening. He got randomized to the sequence of BA. He started with the drug B, but after the drug B, he left. He discontinued, you can see. I can only have the record of drug B. Drug A and the remaining ones are not there. He got discontinued. The reason for the discontinuation can be anything. What are them? He left the study. He got hospitalized because of the serious adverse event. He might be dead. Possible? He can left the study. He stopped. He left the treatment. He left the site. Good. Number 2, he got a very serious adverse event. He got hospitalized. Number 3, he's dead. He's no more. All these 3 cases are going to be the possible scenarios for not having the treatment to epoch and follow up. All of you are with me? Right? So in this case, I clearly mentioned that he withdraw the consent. He's not comfortable with that. So he withdraw the consent and he left the study. So that's the reason after drug B, this guy doesn't have other data. Okay. All of you. Is that clear? Look at the last guy. This is the planned order of the elements. He randomized to the AB trial arm. All screen, drug A, drug B, follow up, all of them as per whatever is the plan. He implemented the same. That is nothing but he got the same activities. Everything is as planned. So I have all 4 records of this particular guy. Now you can see screen element, start date, end date. Drug A element, start date, end date. Drug B, start date, end date. Follow up, start date, end date. Is it understandable now, guys? Do you have a crux of what is your subject elements domain, what it is going to capture, from where I'll get this particular data? All of you? Yes or no? Team?
Yes.
Anyone still have questions or concerns, are not able to understand? Let me know. I'm more than happy to answer any number of times, but I need your consent saying that you understand this.
Sir, one doubt, sir. Yesterday, we were talking about trial element order. Trial element order along with subject element sequence. If doesn't match us, it is called unplanned. Unplanned. So trial element order is a planned one, right, sir?
Exactly. TAEORD. You can call it as TAEORD. Trial arm element order. I'll show you.
Trial arm element order.
You can see here.
And yes.
This is the one.
Okay.
See, this is my arm. This arm is supposed to have 4 elements. This is going to be the element number. So whoever got randomized to AB, they should follow this. Suppose one of the guy, instead of this, they follow drug B first and then drug A. The order is changed. So when I go to this one, this order will be captured in your SCSEQ. SCSEQ say that 1, followed by it is 2, followed by 3, and followed by 4. are 1, this is 3, 2, 4. Actually, SEQ is going to be the same. Maybe I need to change this a little. This will be the original order. We are going to generate it. This is which is given there. Let's say for this guy, second guy we can take. Drug B is 3, 2, 4. So this guy, ideally, this is how it's supposed to be. 1, 3, 2, 4 is the trial arm element order. What is your SEQ is talking about? Your SEQ is saying that this guy has taken 1, 2, 3, 4. At this level, for these two, it is not matching. For the next two, it is not matching. That is, the treatment was implemented in a wrong way. The trial conducted in a wrong way. As long as TAETORD and SESUQ are matching, we are doing the good job. The principal investigator is doing the good job. The moment these two are not same, the treatment is not proper. That is what we mentioned here. If TAETRD, which is planned, and SCSEQ, which is actual, are not matching, then the subject was treated incorrectly. Make sense? And I can also say that it is a number that is provided to the planned order of the elements within the subject assigned arm. Where the subject assigned arm will happen? In the trial arm domain. Who are asked this? Is this clear now?
Yes, sir.
Wonderful. Anyone, any other questions?
So what
Yeah.
is the difference between a parallel design and crossover study design? So
Okay.
is it related to trial or it is related to subject?
No, it is related to it. It is related to both, but let me help you with this. A parallel study design is the one where same drug will be provided to the subject throughout the study. Same drug, same dosage throughout the study. Let's say if my study is for 10 weeks, the treatment is for 10 weeks. All the 10 weeks, the subject is going to get the same drug, same dosage. No changes in that. Whereas if I go with a crossover study design, right, here what we will do is we will change, or we can say that we are going to give different drugs to the subject in the entire study. For an example, let's say the same drug, when I say here, drug A, only one drug. So again, here also I am going to have, what is that? Maybe I'll give you the examples. Let's say the drug is going to be drug A, and the dosage is going to be 50 ml. 5 ml, 50 ml is too much. So for all the 10 weeks, the subject is going to get drug A and 5 ml who got randomized to drug A. Whoever got randomized to placebo, let's say it's a placebo controlled trial as well. Placebo is nothing but a fake pill, or it is going to be just a saline water here. I'm going to have a 0 ml, or I can say the dosage is going to be 0. The intervention drug is going to be 0 over there. Whoever got randomized to the placebo, they are going to get the placebo throughout the 10 weeks. No change in the drug. Rajendra, is that understandable? First, what is parallel design?
Yes.
Yeah, the drug I'm testing is drug A 5 ml. Throughout the study, all the 10 weeks, drug A 5 ml, I'm going to get it. If I'm got randomized to the placebo group, that is intervention, control group, I'm going to get only placebo throughout the 10 weeks. Okay. Now, if I go to the crossover study design, I'm going to have first, let's say I got randomized to DA followed by P group, and someone else got randomized to P followed by drug A. The people who are in this particular trial arm, I'm going to get drug A first. Drug A of 5 ml, I'm going to get it in the week 1. Okay. I also have a washout period. That is nothing but from my body, all this drug has to be exit completely. It has to go out of my body. That period will be called it as your washout period. Let's say that my washout period is going to be 2 weeks. For 2 weeks, I have not given any drug. Then I'm going to get with placebo. Again 2 weeks, because let's say that it is a double-blinded study. So again 2 weeks, no drug. Again, I'm going to get this one. And this order will continue for all the weeks. Make sense? The same thing will happen in a other way for this guy. So first start with the placebo, then I'm going to have drug A, then I'm going to have this, again I'm going to have placebo, and it keeps going on. Right? Crossover study designs are more effective designs, but it is also complex one. Is that understandable, Rajendra and everyone whoever have this question? Can I have a quick confirmation?
Yes, yes, got it.
Wonderful. Questions? Someone is asking. I couldn't hear it properly. All right. So now I can say that all of you are comfortable with all your study design in the subject elements. And there is one more to explain, guys. There is one last thing to explain. Here. I told you subject elements is one of the challenging domain. Why? First problem is, if whatever we planned, this is what we planned. This is the order of the elements we have planned. If the implementation happened in the same order, we don't find any issues. But 90% of the cases, or maybe 90% is really hypothetical, at least majority of the cases, planned is always different from the actual. One of the main problem here is, I mentioned here also, challenging in creating SE is when a subject does not progress through the elements as planned. That can be because of anything. Withdrawal of the study, I mentioned in the first subject. Right? Second, death, second subject. Lack of efficacy, I itself send him out. During the run-in period, we send him out. All these are possible cases, right? There is always a possibility that what we planned is always different from what is happening there. The reasons can be anything. I also mentioned the reasons over there. That is one challenge. The order is changing, right? Remember, second thing, trial element start rule, trial element end rule. These are included. That is nothing but, look at this guy. I know what is going to be his start date, what is his end date. I can clearly put the end date for him because he have taken the drug A. Correct? That is what mentioned in your trial elements, right? The first dosage of treatment is going to be the end. Let's say the subject has not taken this dosage, first dosage. Then, as long as we are clear with the end date, we are very happy. The moment we know that the end date is not proper, that is nothing but end date is not available, the subject left, something happened to the subject, he have not taken the first dosage, what I can put for the end date? Difficult or not? All of you, is this understandable? Because informed consent, I know. First dosage, when we planned, we know. The moment we take the guy take the first dosage, we can get this information from EX domain, and we can say that the same is going to be the end date for the screening. Correct? That is what we done here, right? Everyone, is that what we have done here, right? Any questions? Is this the same thing? I know that the subject has taken the drug A on 22nd March. That is what I mentioned as a end date for the screening, since I know that. Correct? Suppose if this guy has not taken the drug A at all, look at the first case. This is the classic case. 14 to 21st February. How do I get 21st February? This guy has not taken any drug. How do I know that? Anyone? Team, are you able to understand what I'm asking here?
Probably it is an arbitrary date. I believe, like, since we do not get an end date, so can we take some
Because
date?
there is no element of drug treatment of epoch.
True. I don't have treatment epoch. So, but how do I come to the date that subject element date is going to be our 21st February? That is what the question is. How do I get that?
By subject participation end date, RFP and DTC.
Again, how do I get that?
From the demographics.
Demographics, RFP and DTC is the calculated one. It is not entered in the CRF. Correct or not? That is also a derived variable.
Only if somewhere we get the information, the last the last participant date of the subject. If from subject visit or anywhere, if we get this information, then possibilities are there that we can map that data into this column.
Exactly. Again, the same, the RFP and DTC calculation you're talking about. Now the question is, that is the challenge. How to calculate that particular one is the challenge. Correct or not? When I know that it is going to be the start of the drug, when the first dosage he is taking, I can put that. When if it is not the case, when it is not the case, it is very difficult to fill this information. It is very difficult. See, this information filling is difficult. Again, this one, 4.3 is difficult. Because for this guy, the next one is not there. Drug A is not there. Correct? That is the main challenge. How to fill my end dates are the main challenge for the programmer. That is what again I'm saying here. These end rules will indicate the planning. It is not clear what date to use as the end date of the subject's last element when there is no next element in the SE. For this guy, there is no next element. I don't know how to put this. For the second guy, after drug B, there is no element. I don't know how to put it. That is the most difficult thing. Correct?
If there is,
Go ahead, go ahead.
I didn't understand, but I'm thinking if they don't have any end dates, they might take the screening end date as their end date.
There are multiple ways. That's what I'm saying.
Oh.
What you said is correct. See, if you see this, it is exactly 1 week difference here. That is, if you look into this, initially we started, it said that it's going to be for 1 week. ICF to 1 week. Let's say the subject ICF signed is 14. From there, 1 week we have taken. That is what my screening candidate, we can give that. Someone say that screening happened on the same day. Generally, screening will not take more than 1 day. If this guy is a failure, he attended the screening on 14th February. He got failed on the same day. He's not able to clear the inclusion and exclusion criteria. Why I need to put SC and DT as a 21st? I can put 14th itself. Correct? The same guy, same day we identify that he's a screen failure. Why do we need to have him in the study for another 1 week? No need. That decision will be taken by the sponsor. That's what I'm saying here. Some sponsors try to fix this issue by including every possible unplanned condition that occurs in the end rule. Right? There are also times, this is what main thing, when the text in the start rule and end rule is not clear enough to the programmer to determine, then any specific variable from the domains, we have the different domains, right? From the domains, we are going to get it. So we have interventions domain, we have events domain. Every domain we are going to check. From there, we are going to get this. That one, you can call it as a pseudo code. Basically, hey, this is what it is going to be. That pseudo code also I have given you for your reference. Suppose screening start date is always going to be the informed consent date. Right? How to calculate it? It is going to be RFIC DTC, informed consent sign. You can ask me, Murli, is it not a derived variable? It is not, because it is there in the ICF. Sorry, it is there in your CRF. Correct? They will mention that in the CRF, right? You remember? So either if you have the DM domain, you can pick it from the RFIC DTC. Otherwise, in the disposition domain, we haven't discussed that. Anyways, we will discuss. There is a disposition term. You can call it as a informed consent obtained. If you find it, that is called DS term and DS decode. Both of them are same. DS decode is going to be the dictionary value. DS term is the actual term. So if your dictionary defined term is going to be the informed consent obtained, the respective start date, you can use it for your SCST DTC. We know that TNER, that is end rule for the screening, is first dosage of drug A. Again, how to calculate it? Suppose if the subject discontinued, I told you RFP and DTC. Someone of you already mentioned that. Okay. If that is not the case, every subject has a visit details, right? I think Ajay, you are the one who said this. Every visit, we are going to capture it, right? When is the last visit? In your subject visit domain, when is the last visit? Take that last visit as your subject element end date. Make sense? If these two are not the cases, subject is not discontinued, next element is present, take the next element start date as the current element end date. Make sense? Is this particular one is helping you? Everyone? The same is case with the drug A. Look at what is the treatment. EXTRT is nothing but exposure treatment. If exposure treatment is equal to drug A, first time I want to take the minimum, that is the first time when the subject has taken the drug A in the exposure domain, that is for start. Again, subject discontinued, same logic. Look at the end date, end participation date, or look at the maximum value of your subject visit end date or next element. Same. Same. Everywhere it is going to be the same. Is the pseudo logic is helping you? Right? So do you understand the challenges? The only reason I have discussed all this is these are your interview questions. What are the various challenges that you have faced while developing your subject element domain? Can you say this? So what are the various techniques you follow when you're not clear about how to define your subject element start date and end date? We follow pseudocode. This is how we follow it. And this will give you the clear impression to the interviewer saying that you not only have the understanding about your various variables within the domain, you also have a very detailed understanding about various domains also. While talking about your subject element, you're also giving the information about the DM, you're also giving the information about the disposition domain, you're also giving the information about the subject visit. You're talking about the pseudocode, very peculiar one. This will give enough things to the interviewer saying that the subject is very good with the details. Is that understandable, guys? All of you, can I have a very quick confirmation? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
I just want to call this as demystifying your subject elements, right? Because yesterday I discussed this, but I'm not pretty happy because I don't know whether all of you are able to follow this or not, because variable definitions is always going to be easy, but you need to have a very good understanding at the overall domain level as well. So I want to pick up a different example. This is the general example, I'll pick it up, but still I want to go with one more time. I want to look at the examples and I want to give you a clarity. Hope all of you are clear now. Right? Can we pick it up? Subject visits tomorrow then? Okay. All of you are clear up to this? Yes or no? I'm going to add some of the notes as well. I'm going to find what is this element, what a trial element. Anyways, it is going to be there again, maybe sometime again we can discuss, but still I'm going to have all these details here, right? In the subject elements here itself at the bottom, I'll just mention that demystifying your code. Demystifying subject elements domain. Okay, I will add all those details also here for your easy understanding. All good? Okay. Any other questions? Let me know. If not, I'm going to stop the session for today here. I'm giving you back 15 minutes. So you can have your 15 minutes back and we can discuss about the subject visits tomorrow. Questions, please. Wonderful. That's all for today, guys. Thank you. I'll upload the class notes and the recordings today. Yesterday recording I have not updated yet in the drive. I'll update both of them together today itself. Okay. You can find anytime after 12 a.m. IST.
Only one doubt. Like
Yes.
based on the subject elements, the planned and unplanned details, like arm details in the demographic, where can we capture that one? I mean, based on the subject elements, can we define that the subject went through treatment B, I mean B and A like this?
See, demographics is going to have two things there. One is going to be your planned arm, another one is going to be the actual arm, correct?
Yes, yes.
So if you go there, your planned arm is the one which is going to have the details about TA domain. TA details will be part of it.
Yes.
Actual arm is the one which is going to have your the subject element details, the actual arm. Here you're going to have the actual arm, right? So in our study, that is the in-class subject, we mentioned that there are no discrepancies. That is the reason you see that arm is equal to actual arm. But when we go to the main project, I can show you the difference. The planned arm is entirely different from the actual arm for some subjects. We can see those differences over there. So the answer to your question is the actual arm is the one which is going to have those details. Make sense?
Yes, we have the actual arm will have the whatever the phases that the subject has entered. For example, if we are having in this case of scenario, then from where we will be capturing either by subject elements or
Okay, it is there in the subject elements, first thing.
okay.
Okay, again, for the subject elements, there are multiple sources. Again. For the subject elements, I need to get the information from subject visits. Again, for the subject visits, I need to take the data from all the domains. That is all the raw data sets. It is not a single straightforward answer. That is what I'm trying to explain.
Okay.
Where we capture the details, these are the variables in which we capture details. Now, if your question is going to be, hey, Murli, how do I identify this? What is the procedure? If you ask about the procedure, if I want to capture the elements, that is what I mentioned the pseudo code here. See, if I want to go for the screening, if one of the subject doesn't go through the screening at all, that is screen failure, how do I get this? I have this information in the SVENDTC, that is subject visits domain. That is for this particular guy, how many visits happened? Here it is only 2 weeks, 2 drugs. Let's say a drug period happened for 6 weeks, as I have explained. He got discontinued after the 3rd week. I can get that information only in the subject visit, right? He visited 4 times, 1 for the screening, 3 times for the treatment. After the 4th visit, he's not appeared in the study. So the maximum visit end date, I need to get it from the subject visits. Now, again, where this particular data will be available? Again, I need to look at. It is like randomly, I keep on looking at all the tables. From there only, I will pick it up. Right? When you write a code, you will get 100% clarity. Now you can see we have defined it, element code, element and everything. And you ask me how to calculate it, correct? Can you see this? For every subject, we are calculating the subject end date, subject start date, and everything we are calculating differently. It is not the same thing. If it is going to be TART equal to 1 in the sense it is going to be a treatment. In that particular case, I'm taking RFIC DTC. If it is TARTT is equal to 2, I'm taking subject reference start date as a start date here. That is planned treatment start date as a start date here. And the third case, for if it is going to be a follow-up, in that particular case, I'm taking subject visit start date and time as a data, and I'm proceeding it in our study. Suppose again, I'm going to look at the subject visits now. I have to get this data from the various sources. See, every subject I have around 18 visits. Whatever unscheduled visit, I'm calling it as a 24. Now you can see. To get this particular data, I need to depend on these many sources. These are all the subject visits. The subject has come for the blood test, the subject has come for the CLAB2, CXRCT, informed consent date, TSIN fee, randomization date, e.g. when it has taken, right? When the screening has happened, when the UNSLL has happened, when he come for the Covans, when the subject actually has gone through the lab, when the port risk assessment happened, all these are nothing but the visits that are happened. These many data sets I'm referring to get my data. See, end of the day, all these data sets, the output is only going to be one. which is going to be the visit date. I'm going to calculate this particular one by considering all this. Make sense? I can see all the scheduled visits, all the unscheduled visits based on that minimum data, maximum data, unscheduled data. There is a lot of code we are going to write by looking at the multiple data sets, and then only we are able to get the final data. It is not straightforward. It's not at all straightforward. Now you understand who is this, I think. Now you understand this, what I'm saying here.
Yes.
And again, epoch also you can see, though there are 19 visits, I have only 3 epochs because I told you epochs are only at the study level. If visit number is less than 2, that is nothing but first visit. Always first visit is screening. Treatment between 2 and 18, 2 and 16, you can see here. End of the treatment is going to be 16. My day 1 starts at 2. That is, any visit between the 2 and 16 is going to be my treatment. That is what we mentioned here. There it is. Anything between 2 and 17 is going to be the treatment. After the treatment period, I have 2 things: treatment of cure, late follow-up. Those 2 will fall under the follow-up. So epochs also I'm going to calculating based on the visit numbers here. And whatever I have here, this I'm going to use it in the all other data sets. Everything is interrelated. That's what I want to say. Everything is interrelated. Right? And when you write the code only, you can understand that. But now don't worry about the calculation part. Now at a pseudo level, you understand what is what. The rules, you understand what is what. Is that clear or not?
Yes, it is clear.
Wonderful. Any questions from anyone else? I'm happy to answer.